There is a habit so small, so ordinary, that almost nobody thinks of it as a health decision at all, and yet it may be quietly working against nearly every repair process your body depends on overnight. It happens in the kitchen, usually after 9 or 10 at night, often without much thought, a small snack, a few crackers, a piece of chocolate, something to satisfy that late evening craving before bed. It feels harmless. It feels like nothing. But what if this single, repeated habit is one of the easiest and most overlooked ways to reset your body's health after 60? By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why this one change matters so much more than most people realize. Let's start with something most people have never really thought about. Your body does not operate the same way at 11 at night as it does at 11 in the morning. Throughout the day and into the evening, your internal systems, digestion, hormone regulation, and cellular repair processes follow a natural rhythm, one that shifts significantly as the hours pass. When you eat late at night, you are not simply adding a few extra calories to your day. You are asking your body to perform digestive work at exactly the time it should be shifting into repair and recovery mode instead. This conflict between what your body is trying to do and what you're asking it to do instead happens quietly, night after night, often without any noticeable symptom until years of accumulated disruption start to show. Here's where this becomes personal. Think about how many nights over the past month you have found yourself in the kitchen after dinner, not because you were truly hungry, but out of habit, boredom, or simply the routine of winding down in front of the television. Most people never even question this behavior because it feels so small, so insignificant in the grand scope of health. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Small, repeated habits, especially ones performed almost every single day for years, often have a far greater impact on long-term health than the occasional big decision ever could. Stay with me, because in less than a minute, I'm going to explain exactly what happens inside your body during those late night hours, and why this one change could matter more than almost anything else on your plate. Now, here is something that should genuinely make you pause. Research into circadian rhythms, the internal clock that regulates nearly every system in your body, has shown that eating late at night can interfere with several critical processes, including blood sugar regulation, the release of key repair hormones, and even the quality of your sleep itself. This matters enormously for anyone over the age of 60, because these are exactly the systems that already require more support as we age. Poor sleep alone has been linked to weakened immune function, slower cellular repair, and increased inflammation throughout the body. And one of the simplest, most overlooked contributors to poor sleep quality in older adults is something as ordinary as eating too close to bedtime. Let's talk about why this specific habit becomes even more important later in life. As we age, the body's ability to process and regulate blood sugar naturally becomes less efficient. Eating a snack, even a seemingly small one, in the hours right before sleep can cause a spike in blood sugar at exactly the time your body should be settling into a state of rest and repair. This can interfere with the natural release of growth hormone during sleep, a hormone directly involved in tissue repair, cellular maintenance, and metabolic regulation. In other words, that late-night snack is not just sitting harmlessly in your stomach while you sleep. It may be actively interrupting one of the most important repair windows your body has access to every single day. Think about what this actually looks like over time. One night of late eating likely makes no meaningful difference at all, but repeated night after night for months and years, this pattern can quietly chip away at the quality of your sleep, the efficiency of your metabolism, and your body's overall ability to repair and defend itself. This is the part that should genuinely unsettle you, because it means one of the most impactful changes available to you in terms of supporting your long-term health is not a complicated new diet or an expensive supplement. It is simply closing the kitchen a few hours earlier each night. Here is something worth sitting with for a moment. Imagine two people both eating relatively similar diets throughout the day. One of them stops eating several hours before bed, giving their body time to properly digest and transition into rest. The other continues snacking right up until bedtime, night after night, without much thought. Over the course of a single week, the difference may seem negligible. But over the course of a year or a decade, these two people may experience dramatically different outcomes in terms of sleep quality, blood sugar regulation, and overall metabolic health simply because of this one repeated evening choice. So what does this actually look like in practice? Research and clinical guidance around this topic generally point toward giving your body a window of several hours between your last meal and bedtime, allowing digestion to largely complete before you transition into sleep. This does not mean starving yourself in the evening or going to bed hungry and uncomfortable. It means being intentional about when your last meal of the day happens and resisting the automatic pull toward late night snacking driven by habit rather than genuine hunger. For many people, simply becoming aware of this pattern is enough to begin shifting it, moving dinner slightly earlier, or recognizing that the 9 o'clock craving for something sweet is often more about routine than actual physical need. This is exactly why this particular habit is often described as one of the easiest resets available for long-term health after 60. It does not require new equipment, new supplements, or a complicated new eating plan. It requires nothing more than adjusting the timing of something you're already doing, giving your body the space it needs to shift fully into its nightly repair process, uninterrupted by the demands of digestion. Small shifts like this, repeated consistently over time, often produce results that far exceed what people expect from something so simple. Think about your own evenings honestly for a moment. How many nights this past week did you eat something within an hour or two of going to bed, not because you were truly hungry, but simply out of habit? For most people, the honest answer might be more nights than they'd like to admit, and that alone is worth paying attention to, because the smallest, most overlooked habits are often the ones quietly shaping our long-term health the most. So here's my question for you. Do you tend to snack late at night out of genuine hunger, or is it more about habit and routine? I would love to know honestly where you stand, so drop your answer in the comments below, because I think you'll be surprised how many people watching this are doing the exact same thing without even realizing it.